Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Friday, 19th July 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. The Lost Tapes, an audio documentary on Trinidad and Tobago's 1990 attempted coup, to be broadcast soon. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. The Lost Tapes, an audio documentary on the 1990 attempted coup in Trinidad and Tobago, has been compiled. The intriguing program is scheduled to broadcast on the 34th anniversary of the event that changed Trinidad and Tobago forever, and will be broadcast on Talk City 91.1 FM. TTT News has more.
Inspired by a deep interest in Trinidad and Tobago's history, documentary producer Joseph Bertrand set out to digitize cassette tapes on which his mother had recorded the coup media broadcasts in 1990. He said it is 6 days of extraordinary history recorded on audio, taking us through the period of rebellion.
Live and direct, because all of what you would hear in the audio documentary, the archival recordings, were presented live on air. So we have several things like the special broadcasts, the bulletins. We also have conversations between those who were taken hostage and the army, the special broadcasts to the wider nation calling for the police, the nurses and so on to go out to work.
Mr. Bertrand shared that the process of listening to the tape stimulated for him a deeper respect for the media personnel who served the nation during the attempted coup.
One of the major things that I learned is the power of the media in national crisis. The thing is that the professionalism and the manner in which they presented the information, they were able, I think, to keep the community and the country calm, well-informed, and able to facilitate conversation that assisted in bringing a resolution to the 6-day crisis.
Mr. Bertrand said that a podcast to amplify the voices of media personnel at the time, specifically the presenters at Radio 610, like Jared Lampow, Dennis McComey, and Sharon Pitt, is in the works. The Lost Tapes 1990 attempted coup audio documentary will be aired on Talk City 91.1 FM at 7:05 p.m. on Saturday, July 27.
The operationalization of a bilateral aviation agreement signed last year between France and St. Kitts and Nevis could point the way for the growth of tourism between the Federation and the islands of Guadeloupe and Martinique in particular, according to government officials. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline fills us in.
Signed in May 2023, the aviation agreement came into force just weeks ago, allowing reciprocal touchdown rights between St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider French Caribbean islands, notably Martinique and Guadeloupe. It also provides for the opening of touchdown rights between the two nations for air carriers designated by both nations. The agreement integrates current international conditions and the transport requirements of the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority. With this agreement, existing and new airlines designated by the parties to the agreement have the right to develop commercial flights with the potential to open new tourism markets. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
6 Barbadians are among the close to 50 exceptional Caribbean lawyers whose contributions to regional development have been chronicled in the compelling book of essays. The book, launched by the Caribbean Court of Justice's Academy of Law, is titled Legendary Caribbean Legal Practitioners. The Barbadians include Sir Richard Cheltenham, Sir Henry Ford, Sir David Simmons. A documentary video called Legendary Caribbean Legal Practitioners has also been compiled, showcasing the chosen 48 Caribbean lawyers. Chairman of the CCJ Academy of Law, Justice Winston Anderson, says focus has been placed on those whose exploits in the courtrooms have moved beyond excellence and into the pages of history.
I can truly report that the concept of recognizing and honoring the contribution of outstanding Caribbean jurists has begun to take root in our region. The publication of the biographical profiles of our awardees is increasingly anticipated by growing sections of the legal community and beyond. We intend to keep faith with the process adopted thus far of identifying a broad-based regional advisory body, eliciting nominations, and then selecting the awardees through an objective, transparent, and democratic process.
President of the CCJ, Justice Adrian Saunders, says the final list is impressive, comprising a reasonable regional spread.
I extend heartiest congratulations to each of the 2024 awardees and also to the essayists who had the unenviable responsibility of trying to capture in a few pages the breadth and depth of the extraordinary exploits of their subjects.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Barbadians living abroad must be encouraged to return home. This recommendation is coming from a Member of Parliament for St. James North, Edmund Hinkson. He says repatriation of Barbadians is one of the solutions to the brain drain dilemma that the country is facing. Mr. Hinkson was making a contribution to the Barbados Population Policy Debate 2023 in Parliament on Wednesday. And while government is seeking to boost the island's declining population, Mr. Hinkson says efforts must be made to ensure that those in the labour force pay income tax and contribution to the NIS.
I know that that's not such an easy task, Mr. Speaker, because the whole profile of individuals is to travel and seek what they consider better opportunities outside of their country. And but obviously, if we make Barbados more attractive to young persons especially, we will get more Barbadians coming back home rather than wanting to stay in the northern hemisphere. When more productive people are in Barbados, our economy will grow. One of the challenges will be to ensure that these people, working age and who are working, pay the income tax and pay the NIS. And that is very important because there are too many people that feel that they are doing well by cheating government and not paying income tax.
On another item out of St. Kitts and Nevis, what is the future of the St. Kitts Citizenship by Investment Program? Andre Huey of SKN Newsline provides some details.
With the various challenges facing the industry and threats by the European Parliament to persuade the European Commission and the EU to revoke visa-free access to Caribbean CBI passport holders, some commentators believe the CBI industry may have outlived its usefulness. But for socio-political commentator Dwyer Astafan, there is hope for the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program, providing that the government of the day follow through with its promises of reforming the program and making it more transparent.
You all have heard me speak for years about problems with our citizen by investment business. Note that I've always been and continue to be a supporter of the CBI. In principle, I just prefer when things work properly and are properly managed, and transparently so, and that everybody gets their fair share in the process.
Political analyst Peter Wickham, however, believes that it may be time for St. Kitts and Nevis to look at other industries as its mainstay of the economy, as CBI has run its course.
I think the issue, though, Andre, is really the viability of the CBI program. And I think that we've gotten to a stage now where the CBI program is more or less at the end of its life, natural life. My feeling is that it has gone from a situation where it was extremely beneficial to St. Kitts and Nevis. Remember, CBI pulled St. Kitts and Nevis out of the clutches of the International Monetary Fund in record time because it generated that much money. It has been part of the development of St. Lucia, Dominica significantly in relation to major projects. The reality, however, is that CBI has been shrouded with controversy relating to questions of due diligence, suggestions of corruption, decisions as to who should sell and at what price they should sell, because you would, of course, appreciate that there are various perspectives in different islands regarding the price setting for the CBI. And then in the meantime, you have a situation where entities like the United Kingdom and Europe are raising concerns about the extent to which these passports are giving people access to their countries, and they are concerned about that matter. The Canadians, of course, they've expressed their concern years ago. My sense is that this is going to increase and it's going to get worse. And then in the meantime, in Europe, you have countries like Malta that are able to offer citizenship by investment in a far more attractive way, because theirs gives a person access to the European Union, which essentially makes very little use of the ones that we're offering in the Caribbean.
There is also the question of whether or not St. Kitts and Nevis made the best of CBI earnings. On this subject, Mr. Astafan and Mr. Wickham have differing views.
You all have heard me express the opinion that the people of this country have been given generally a bad deal with regard to the benefits from the CBI, and that individuals have profited massively while our people's share has been cut short. We have been deprived of the opportunity to become more self-reliant, more productive, more advanced and prosperous in water, energy, food security, national security as well. All of that money that went where it should not have gone could have been used to upgrade our health system.
St. Kitts and Nevis is one of the few countries that went to the IMF and bought its way out early. That was a significant achievement, and it was largely on the back of money that was generated by this citizenship by investment program. Now, the question is, buying yourself out of debt, is that a good way to use the money? And I think that that's something that economists would have to answer. But I certainly don't think that the CBI has done badly by St. Kitts and Nevis. And I think that however we look at it, we would have to say, it was a significant contribution to development. St. Kitts' economy among the OECS is certainly doing quite well. Certainly one of the better performing economies in the OECS. And a lot of that has to do with the level of investment locally. If you drive around the St. Kitts and Nevis, you see the elements of that development being presented all over. St. Kitts and Nevis, Kittians and divisions pay no tax, which is, again, unusual in the context of the OECS. So I think that all objective analyses would argue that some good has been done by the CBI.
The latest challenge for the CBI program is dealing with allegations in a lawsuit by MSR Media, claiming fraud and corruption involving a CBI project to build a prison. Some see this lawsuit as the death knell for the CBI program. Others, like Mr. Astafan, believe it can help eradicate the program from corrupt practices and reform it for the better. Only time will tell. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.